Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel here once again, and this is going to be another wrestling match review. So, earlier in the year, that being 1994, not present year 2026, but earlier in 1994 at WrestleMania 10, Bret took on his younger brother Owen after months of build-up and tension. And Owen turned on Bret. This was long before WrestleMania, but Owen turned on Bret. Bret had ends up losing to his brother Owen in their match at WrestleMania 10, but he did win. He did end up winning the WWE Championship later on in the night, so that's something at least. But this time around, Bret and Owen have a rematch. This time, not only is it for the WWF Championship, but this time it's in a steel cage. What's gonna happen? Let's find out. I'm of course talking about Bret versus Owen, and brother versus brother once again. This time in a steel cage at SummerSlam 1994. Now, of course, as always, I am not professional wrestling reviewer or analyst or anything like that. Just a man who enjoys a good time, and I had a really good time with this match. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, if you've seen these reviews of mine before, you kind of already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be talking about what I liked and disliked about the match. As for how we got here, I kind of I kind of talked about it already, but let's backtrack a little bit. Owen and ended up turning on his brother Bret had officially Owen had started showing a lot of frustration and starting at the 1993 Survivor Series match the uh in the Hart family versus Shawn Michaels and his Knights match at Survivor Series 1993, which I'm sure I will review at some point, especially to tell you that Shawn Michaels was not the original man in that match. But Owen had some frustrations. Eventually, he turns. Owen fully turns on his brother Bret at the 1994 Royal Rumble. Owen beat his brother Bret. Try saying that 5 times fast, but he beat Bret in a kind of surprising fashion back at WrestleMania 10. They continued to feud throughout the rest of the year. So that was one of the big feuds of 1994. And at this point, Jim Neidhart has kind of gotten involved, and he's fully on the side of Owen. So in a way, I guess the Hart Foundation is officially done for, at least in terms of Bret and Jim Neidhart. But Neidhart's sided with Owen. In a way, they're kind of sort of, and they talk about in this match, they're kind of sort of trying to blame Jim for Owen's turn. At least they're like kind of hinting at it, but admittedly it's a little murky. And I imagine that mainly comes down to because it was a lot of like the family members who are ringside for this match in particular. Or but yeah, so they're kind of trying to blame Jim, but they're not fully they're not fully committing to it. If that makes any sense. But now it comes down to this: a steel cage match between Bret and Owen for the WWF Championship. Now, of course, starting with what I liked about this match was a lot of fun. Just a lot of really good back and forth between Bret and Owen, trying to escape the cage, either through the up over the top and through the door, and considering how much they do try to escape through the door, it's kind of surprising that Jesse Ventura forgot at Saturday Night's Main Event. I believe it was last year, or whichever one was the match between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. It's kind of surprising that Jesse forgot you can win by going through the door, but nevertheless, as I believe that was the reason Jesse got mad, and then they kind of fired him in a way. But anyway, but they try to go through the top. They try to go through the door, and every time one tries to escape over top, up the other, like stops him, pulls him down. Like when Bret tries to go through the door, Owen like there's a moment where Bret's trying to go through the door. He's trying to like crawl through the door. It's actually after or a big superplex off the top of the cage after Bret caught Owen uh from escaping over the top, and he like suplexed him into the ring. So that's why they have that mini game in WWE 13, and I think it's also in 2K14. Um, but as Bret's like crawling through the door, Owen then like dives and like catches his foot and pulls him back in. So just a lot of back and forth, a lot of back and forth action, and it definitely feels like a fight, even from the get go when before Bret even fully is in the cage and the cage door closes and is locked. Owen just immediately like pounces on Bret. So they really put over just the animosity between these two as it's come to this. And eventually it does lead to Bret officially getting the win. When and Owen and Bret had tried to uh I try. I do. They're like hanging on to the top of the cage. They're both on the outside. Eventually, like Brett slams Owen's head onto the cage, and Owen's leg gets trapped in like the little squares in the cage, and like one of the little squares. So Owen's foot is trapped. Brett eventually falls and is declared the winner. But almost immediately after, Jim Neidhart first he blasts the British Bulldog, which British Bulldog has a interesting outfit in this match. But Jim and like blast British Bulldog, and he falls into I believe that's Nancy Hart. He blasts the Bulldog. For, uh, yeah. Yeah, Diana. My apologies, Diana. Nancy's the matriarch, I believe. But no, that's hell. I'm getting my Hart family members mixed up. I apologize. It's late. I'm tired. But Neidhart blast Bulldog. Then he gets in the cage. He attacks Bret. He and Owen are attacking Bret. They're trying to stop the other like family members from entering, and like Bulldog is trying to climb over. Eventually they get in, but as they're getting in, Jim and Owen and they're like piecing out. Owen even loses his boot in the process. So Owen and Jim technically stand tall. Oh, and I believe this like officially begins the partnership of the new Hart Foundation between Jim and Owen for a time. And meanwhile, Bret still gets the win, but he does get beaten down. But yeah, just a lot of fun action, a lot of awesome back and forth between Bret and Owen, and definitely putting over that big fight feel. And if I had to find some things to dislike about the match, for starters, his match is kind of on the long side. It's about a half hour, or more specifically, it is 32 minutes 22 seconds. So kind of on the longer side. But Bret and Owen, they definitely are able to keep the action going throughout. Oh, the post match stuff that does drag on a little bit, but that's not really a part of the match itself. That's after the match, so I don't really count that. And then Jerry Lawler and his constant old people jokes about Stu and Helen Hart, and especially when they keep like cutting back to them and like back and forth. Like they have the picture in picture, they show the action with Brad and Owen, but then they also show Stu and Helen, and Jerry's just making all kinds of old people jokes, and it gets pretty annoying. And I find that between the 1995 pay-per-views, which I still have to finish, but between those and then matches like these, maybe it's just the Hart family, but Jerry gets especially annoying with all the old people jokes. And look, jokes like that can be funny if done well. Oh, but it gets grating and it gets annoying and it gets, for lack of a better term, it gets old really fast. But nevertheless, that is going to do it for this review. It was still a very good match, like Jerry Lawler shenanigans and everything aside. It's still a very damn good match. Whether you prefer this match or the match at WrestleMania 10, and honestly, I might lean towards this match. I think the cage adds an extra element to it. Plus, this match is longer than the one at WrestleMania 10. But both still really good matches. If you haven't already, hey, I highly recommend you check out both matches because they are just that good. So the match at WrestleMania 10 was 20 minutes 21 seconds, and this match was 32 minutes. So significantly longer than their match at WrestleMania. But man, it does make you wish they did a little bit more with Owen Hart. Like, if Owen had, honestly, if Owen had won the WWF Championship here, like beating Bret, and they really like strapped the rocket to him, I don't think too many people would have been mad. I think it would have been really cool. But sadly, that's not what we got for Owen. Sadly, Owen, he even though the whole storyline, the ironic thing was even though the whole storyline was about him coming out of his brother's shell and trying to be his own man and everything, sadly, it feels like a lot of his career was spent in his brother's shadow, unfortunately. And of course, it came to an untimely end at Over the Edge 1999. But yeah, I do wish more was done with Owen. And and he was a hell of a talent, and he could definitely hold his and he definitely differentiated himself uh, from Bret. But it's sad to see that in the WWF at least he wasn't quite able to reach the exact same heights. He still did pretty well for himself, all things considered, but you do wish there was a little bit more, or I don't know if his career had continued if what happened at Over the Edge 99 hadn't happened. It is kind of a what if scenario, um but still I'm glad in not just this match, even though he lost, but also at WrestleMania 10, I'm glad Owen was able to get his shine in some other ways. That's at least a decent consolation prize, but nevertheless, this didn't mean to bum you guys out. Just kind of thinking, But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those post notifications so you know every single time I upload a video, so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on this match, my review of the match. You like the match, you like my review of the match, let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.